Welcome back. Well, let's bring you up to date with what's happened in Kerala and Sabarimala so far. Trupti Desai, the Pune-based rights activist, has landed at the Kochi airport. In fact, she landed there at about 4:30 this morning. It's been more than 5 hours and she's still stuck at the airport. Why? Well, there was heavy police presence to ensure that there's no unlawful activity that takes place at the airport, but also those visuals on your screen. Protesters have been sitting outside that airport chanting slogans, and what they have been saying is that Trupti Desai will not be allowed to enter the hilltop shrine of Sabarimala. She's creating a war-like zone here in Kerala by coming here and reiterating the fact that she wants to go offer her prayers at the Sabarimala temple. However, at the same time, Rahul Ishwadayappa devotee also said that she can come, she's most welcome, but she will face resistance. So those visuals on your screen, in fact, my colleague Sneha Merikoshi also managed to speak to Trupti Desai while she was stuck inside that airport, and Trupti told Sneha that, you know, she's tried booking a cab at least 3 or 4 times and all of them have refused. They do not want to take her to anywhere outside the airport. So now there's a showdown which is happening at that Kochi airport with Trupti Desai and the security forces being inside and protesters outside. And to discuss this entire matter, remember that Sabarimala temple opens for a 2-month-long pilgrim season this evening, early evening, and that entire pilgrimage season will last 2 months. But how will authorities really manage and ensure that the law of the Supreme Court verdict is upheld? But first, let's listen into what Trupti Desai had to say.
7 महिलाएं जो है वो हम शबरीमला मंदिर में प्रवेश करने के लिए महाराष्ट्र से हमारी टीम जा रही है, और हमने जो सिक्योरिटी की मांग की थी अभी तक तो उसका कुछ रिप्लाई नहीं आया है, लेकिन कल से केरला से बहुत सारी धमकियां अभी भी आ रही है। तो मुझे केरला गवर्नमेंट और वहां की जो पुलिस है उनको वही अपील करना है कि वहां पे हमारी सब व्यवस्था कीजिए, हमें जो है वो प्रोटेक्शन दीजिए। अगर वैसे नहीं हो पाया तो हमारे ऊपर अटैक हो सकता है और हमारी जान भी जा सकती है।
Well, and I have guests in the studio joining us to discuss the Sabarimala issue, PKD Nambiar and also Anuja Kapoor. Anuja, let me go across to you first. Thank you very much for joining us. You know, what do you make of Trupti Desai? She's been saying that, yes, according to the Supreme Court verdict, all women between that age of 10 and 50 should be allowed to enter Sabarimala. And that is why she's now landed at Kochi airport, but is not being allowed out of that airport.
It is so sad. You see, this is what happens when the religious endorsement takes power over the fundamental rights of the human beings. And when we talk about constitutional rights, we talk about legal rights. We also talking into this issue when we look very closely that this is a cult which has been followed. And when they just look into the religious endorsement over the people, a lot of life loss happens. When you look into it closely, you know that that the person should be allowed to worship anywhere one can, and there is a contempt of court. This is something which is, as a lawyer, if I put it through, I feel very sad when the people take laws in their hands and they do a contempt of court. This is a right of any person to worship in any worship area. You should not be just being demarked from your rights because you belong to a certain age group. Now, everyone we understood that there is a certain age group which is being provided. Why is it that we have to figure it out? And that is what she did. Because there is a case of a puberty, there is a case of menstruation cycle which is happening, and they feel that the women undergoing this kind of transformation at that age is not a pure woman, is not a pure person. And this hurts the sentiment of a woman. We are not going there in the temple to prove ourselves. We are going there to take our rights back, and this is where it belongs. And when we look into it, that is why there is a review petition which has been filed. And when we talk about review petition to the Supreme Court, and I think Supreme Court will look into it very closely once again, and I believe in the code of law, and they will uphold what they have already given it in the last order, because this is about a constitutional right. It is about a fundamental. This is not proving a woman saying that she's been equal or they can go inside. So if we can talk about Article 14, 15, and we talk about Article 26B where they're talking about religious endorsement, that needs to be taken care of, where where it has been said that you're allowed to take religious your own bylaws out here. But if your religious bylaws take over or violates fundamental rights, the Supreme Court will come into action.
Right. I also have Mr. Nambiar now here with us. Mr. Nambiar, it's really become a matter of a Supreme Court order versus fate. And there are two sides of protesters out there. One who say they want to go ahead, they want the right of praying, and also the other who say that she's making Trupti Desai by landing up in Kochi is making it into a warlike zone.
Precisely. See, if you really look at it, who goes to a temple is devotees who goes to the temple. It is not a place. Temple is not a place to show the activism of anybody. Trupti, you must ask Trupti Desai, maybe whenever you, the next time to your reporter, who is Lord Ayyappa? What is the methodology and the practice which happens in at the Lord Ayyappa temple? Everything cannot be everything in India will be under the Supreme Court's judgment. Everybody have to go through. But it is also a truth. Just last few days back, Supreme Court has already agreed to hear the review petition.
Yes,
so
but
why this
Mr.
hurry
Nambiar,
in implementing
until they
and
hear the review petition, right now, as per law, that Supreme Court order still stands allowing women in that menstrual age to go through.
How many Supreme Court orders in Kerala alone have not been implemented? Why there is so much of hurry when there is millions and millions of devotees are saying that just wait till 22nd of January, where the Supreme Court has already agreed to hear, which is a rarest of case, where they have agreed to hear the case again, that too on an open court. Why this hurry? And you wanted to push, you wanted
Mr. Nambiar, I understand your point, but my point is that Supreme Court has agreed to hear that review petition on the 22nd of Jan, also saying that until the 22nd of Jan, their previous verdict does hold ground.
May I ask you a simple question in this? If the Supreme Court on 22nd of January or any another day quash the current judgment, what do you mean by that? By the time
well, it would mean a simple thing that from 22nd of January onwards, that current order by the Supreme Court will be.
So that means by the time the purity and the practice, age-old practice, century-old practice of the temple is being quashed by that time. Why this hurry? Why can't, if the centuries-old practice wherein a system has been followed, why everything has to happen in 1 month? What is going to happen?
Well,
or in 2 months, what is going to happen?
The Supreme Court has already decided that, Mr. Nambiar. The Supreme Court has already said they will hear it again, but until then,
that itself is a rarest of things which the Supreme Court has agreed to hear this.
Yes, but they haven't reversed their verdict. So right now, the government, the authorities are all bound by that Supreme Court verdict.
Can I say you something? If you have been following this case very well, what happened in yesterday in Kerala, there was an all-party meeting which was held by the Chief Minister.
Yes.
The Chief Minister, it's purely what is happening is a showdown between the devotees and the Chief Minister's arrogance. What he all wanted to say that somehow, from wherever it may be, whatever it may be, I will pack up some activists portraying themselves as the devotees and push them into Sabarimala and make a history for himself. What kind of a history? It is, you cannot undermine the 99.9% of the population of the state and stand for 1.1% of the people who wanted to just go and break and create a history and go for a media publicity.
Okay, let me take that point across to
This is a social justice, then I am sorry. We would like to be believing in our current belief system than anything else.
Okay, I'll take that point across to Anuja. Anuja, Mr. Nambiar says that this is not a place for social activism, that why couldn't the Supreme Court and other authorities just hang on for a month?
So, I'm sorry to put it through to my colleague who is sitting right next to me. It is his viewpoint. When we are not talking about the viewpoints here, we're talking about the order which has been given by the apex court. And when we talk about the Supreme Court, we believe that the order given out is precedent in nature and it has to be followed. If this kind of a message which sends out where we do not take justice into consideration, what is it the point that this apex court is there in this India? If we do not want, then nobody should go there for a relief. Why they're even going for a review petition then? Review petition now is not only this, in this case that they say it is an RR case. I'm sorry, it is there. Review petitions have been taken up many times in many other cases also. But till then, very categorically I'm putting it up, that the order floats, the order stays till 22nd of January. And whoever is creating a nuisance about it should be behind bars, because the court really, because if it is not have been said, the Supreme Court could have said that till 22nd of January the order does not flow. But it pertains, it says categorically that it pertains there till 22nd of January. So why not? They should hang on and allow the justice to flow. And these women, this is not about activists. It is about women's rights. We're not talking about activism here. You will stop a woman from going inside. She will fight back. Right. It's not about activism. I'm sorry.
Anuja, on that point, you know, yesterday Chief Minister held an entire all-party meeting there. There was some board was also part of that. Do you somewhere feel the government has also had a lax attitude towards implementing the orders?
See, everybody knows in Kerala today that why, even for your knowledge, the law minister of Kerala has said that, oh no, I think we should wait till 22nd of January, we should maintain the status quo. A government in place is, or the court and government, everything is in place for the benefit of the people. It is for the people. It cannot be just just because the chief minister wanted to prove a point and he wanted to make sure that so many other charges which is aimed at him, because you know that what happened in the flood relief,
right?
These things. So he is just trying to. It is a diversionary tactic of the government. And unfortunately, there is one thing which I wanted to say, adding to what my colleague said right now. Most of the people who are coming to a TV debate, or especially on the national media, they hardly have a basic knowledge about either about this temple, the temple culture of Kerala, the belief system of Kerala, how the century-old system has prevailed with so much of communal harmony, and a society which believes in the woman empowerment as at par with any of the best place in the world. I don't think that anybody needs to teach the Keralites at least about the gender equality, and most importantly, please note, it is not a gender issue. It is not a social issue. Women enter into Sabarimala. Only there is an age cap. That has been followed centuries. Why this whole hurry into push?
Mr. Nambiar, I'm completely out of time. I'm sorry, I will have to interrupt you. Mr. Nambiar as well as Anuja, thank you so much for joining us. We'll have to wait and watch until this evening when Sabarimala temple opens, how things unfold there. But let's just hope all things are peaceful. It is a matter of faith. It is also a matter of Supreme Court order. We'll just have to wait and watch until evening how things unfold at Sabarimala temple. On that note, we'll slip into a quick break.